Love you too. Okay. Hello, everybody. So today we're doing hummus. That's how you put your hair up. Today we're doing hummus, and I'm going to do it as quick as I can because I have an appointment. But I figured as long as I was making it, I should go ahead and just like make it live and get it recorded and get it done. So if you're catching this later, if you're catching this recipe, this is the best hummus recipe ever, downshiftology.com. Downshiftology with Lisa Bryan, it looks like. So I'm going to adjust it, though. I've been looking at lots of different recipes, and hummus is also a do what you want, do what you should, and make it how you want it to be made. Like, how do you like your hummus to taste? So the first thing we're going to talk about is chickpeas, and if you can see, let me just here. There we go. Okay, I don't actually get it. So great. So chickpeas. It says 2 cans, 30 ounces. I think that's about what I have. I actually cooked an entire bag. And so I'm reserved that I'm going to use for another recipe, and I'm using like 2/3 of the bag. So I think that might be about 2 cans worth, 30 ounces. So also remember, you can always adjust and do what you want and how you want to do it. Okay. Here we go. So chickpeas. Now, you can use cans. I have really gotten into boiling my own. They don't have the chemicals, right? It's totally fine to keep canned chickpeas on hand so that in a pinch, you can go ahead and just use canned. Like, there's no shame in the game on that part. But also, if you can not use canned, right? If you are able to cook your own, like I cooked mine with 0 salt, right? So there's no salt in there. There's no preservatives that they've even like been around. Yeah. So that's it about the chickpeas. Next thing is, tahini. So tahini, I'm not using tahini today. There are lots of recipes. The recipe that I just referenced does call for tahini, but that's one of the adjustments that I'm making because I'm going to use sunflower butter. So you can use peanut butter. I actually used peanut butter in the last batch that I made. And the last time I made the mistake, so this is what I want to say. I've seen some recipes that say the order of operations is to put the chickpeas, está en el baño, todo está en el baño. That some things say that the order of operations is to put the chickpeas in and let the chickpeas like get broken down, get blended, and then put all the other ingredients in. And then there are other recipes that say you want to do the sun butter first, or excuse me, the tahini, the lemon juice. You want to do the other stuff first and let the tahini like get whipped up. And then start adding in chickpeas. And I would say maybe experiment and see what works for you. However, the last time that I made hummus, I did not. I was really pushing it. I was using crunchy peanut butter as a substitute just to kind of mess with it, whatever. And I really should have, number one, I think peanut butter will work, but sun butter is a much closer substitute for tahini. And number two, I think that in that instance was a clear example that it would have been better to blend the nut butter first. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to, so this recipe, like the downshiftology, I think that one even says they say do the chickpeas first. And I do not agree. No estoy de acuerdo con esta, pero vamos a ver. So I'm using sun butter, not tahini today. And it's creamy. It's not crunchy peanut butter, but do whatever you want. And then also, lots of things say lemon juice and to not use canned lemon juice. I'm using the Santa Cruz organic 100% lemon juice as a fill-in because that's what I'm doing. So if I can find, here we go. So I don't usually measure this much, but I am going to try to be at least I like to have my scooper have an eye for being able to eyeball things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 juice lemons, and I'm going to say 1 juice, 2 juice. However much that was, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, something like that. Okay. También, some sun butter. And so there's this thing about having like the tahini, almost you want it to get like a whipped and creamy texture. I don't know that we're going to actually get that with the sun butter. That says a half cup tahini for that recipe, and I am going to do a good amount of sun butter. So that's a good amount. Kind of switch that around to get all that sun butter off if I can. And then we're going to put this on the blender first. And while this is on the blender, I'm going to mince up my garlic. It calls for 2 garlic cloves for this recipe, but as with anything, you do what you want. And so I am making this an extra garlicky version because, as Tabitha Brown would say, that is my business, right? That's what we're doing for this. So I'm going to put this on the blender, mince up 1, 2, 3. I would say like between I have a couple of extra small garlic cloves as well, but approximately like probably 4 cloves of garlic total. You can see 4 cloves of garlic more or less. Okay, so I'm going to mince those up while the blender whips the sun butter and lemon juice. Vamos a ver. So me parece que está bien, más o menos. Yeah, it's like whipped in there, and it's with that lemon juice. So now that we have that, I'm going to add the garlic. I'm not going to add a bunch of salt because I actually don't have my pink Himalayan with me right now. Me olvidó. So I'm going to use a little bit of like seasoning salt stuff. So some adobo. So this is going to be like adobo garlic hummus. I don't even know what I'm doing. So some adobo. Oh. Everything okay? Is that a video game now? Okay. Not to worry. It was a video game shrieking of no. So, and then just some Lowry seasoned salt. And then some recipes call for cumin. I'm not going to do cumin. I am going to do a little bit of cayenne. And then olive oil. And I think so, like the recipe says a 4th cup olive oil, so 1/1000, 2/1000. Yeah, sure. That looks like a 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to scoop all that down. Check my recipe. Yeah, so that recipe also calls for chickpea liquid. So chickpea liquid, aquafaba. Something else it's called. If you have it in a can, that's where you're getting it, right? That's the chickpea liquid that we're talking about. If you're boiling your own chickpeas, like that's a different story. And to be honest, as I always try to be, I have mixed feelings. I don't know about the aquafaba stuff. People say things, but I'm not really convinced. I don't know yet. So I don't always use it. I don't always say that. I know people are like way into it as like an alternative for all the things. But again, like whatever works for you, if that works for you, go for it. Utilize everything. Waste not, want waste. Waste not, want not. So whatever works for you. Okay. So I got this all smashed down. in the bottom. So it's basically, at this point, we've got everything minus the chickpeas. Just look at my recipe again. Make sure I haven't missed anything. I'm not adding the cumin. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Let's see. Yep. And so now we have this, like, you can see, right? So here's my other little secret trick. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, drop of that. I'm going to add some extra lemon, 1/1000. Second of that, let it go one more time. And then we'll be adding in the chickpeas, adding in some cold water at the end, just to get it a little bit smoother. And that is it. That's literally it. So that's the hummus. Hopefully that is helpful in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, eat well, be well. Let me know if you want to chat. Love yourself to revolution. Yeah, love you. Bye. Mm-hmm.